This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, passions are still running high following a 9-5 vote in favour of radical changes to Dunedin's George Street. Go bus drivers have received their long-awaited lift to the living wage, complete with back pay. And Dunedin's first electric-powered bus is being trialled around local streets to see how it handles the city's hills. Tēnā koutou katoa, ngā mihi o te ahiahi nei, kia ora, I'm Simon Anderson. Dunedin Mayor Aaron Horkin says a welcoming pedestrian-friendly main shopping street for the city is finally imminent. However, not all of the council are happy with the 9-5 vote, which will make George Street one-way from early 2024.
Political barbs are still being fired as the dust settles on yesterday's 9-5 vote in favour of making Dunedin's George Street, from Frederick Street to the Octagon, a one-way 10km/h slalom.
It won't be a single straight line, which people may be imagining it to be. It will move around within the road corridor, and that's as much about designing it in a way that it does keep speeds down and creates an environment that is safe for pedestrians and other road users.
Will be a snake-like street, weaving in and out of planter boxes and trees, whereas the two-way option is a far straighter option. So the traffic line is straight, and you could run at 20 kilometres an hour, which is a much more reasonable speed.
Councillor Jules Raddick is one of the more vocal opponents of practically everything about the idea to all but pedestrianise George Street, from Frederick Street to the Octagon. He only found answering one question hard.
Gosh, no one's asked me what was good about it. Well, I think it's good that we are going to fix the plumbing, the infrastructure underneath George Street. Certainly, there are elements of that are failing, and the stormwater drain under George Street is quite critical because the frequency and severity of storm events in Dunedin is increasing, unfortunately, with climate change, and the stormwater drain that we have under George Street is simply not big enough.
Debate was heated at times during yesterday's lengthy council sitting ahead of the split decision. Mayor Hawkins says this is a significant step forward for the city, in both tackling ageing infrastructure and in the city's design for the future.
I think it's good to have a strong result in the debate yesterday. This is a really exciting opportunity for the city. We're replacing our ancient water mains down the main street and seizing the opportunity that presents us to build the most vibrant, safe, inclusive and accessible city centre that we can to keep people coming into the city centre and to support both our public realm and our local businesses.
While Councillor Raddick says most of the politicians in chambers are choosing to largely ignore a costly report to council by consultant urban designer Corbis Ments. Raddick says many cities who've opted for traffic ideas like this have changed away from one-way traffic systems. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Around 80 Go bus drivers will finally receive their long-awaited living wage and back pay. Last week saw Go bus drivers protesting at Dunedin's bus hub, angry that they'd been waiting 15 months for their promised payment. For the past 15 months, the Dunedin Tramways Union has been fighting for the payment. Yesterday, Go Bus and the Otago Regional Council said they have finally agreed on all contractual details relating to the payment of the living wage and back pay for drivers. All that's needed now is for the ORC to generate a purchase order and for Go Bus to invoice the ORC in turn. Police have revealed a West Coast man was killed in a crash in Southland at the weekend. Police confirmed 28-year-old Anthony John Watson of Cobden died in the single vehicle crash near Mossburn on Sunday. A second occupant was taken to hospital with moderate injuries. The crash involved a silver Nissan Navara utility vehicle which left the road near Alice Road. Police are appealing for any sightings of the vehicle or potential dashcam footage from anyone who was in the area. If you see a bright yellow bus on Dunedin streets, the chances are it's electric. Designed and manufactured in Rolleston, the Otago Regional Council is trialling the electric bus to see how it performs on Dunedin roads.
This 35-seater electric bus started its month-long trial with the Dunedin bus fleet yesterday. The vehicle was designed and built by Global Bus Ventures in Rolleston, just south of Christchurch. Chief Operating Officer Mike Parker says his company has been making electric buses for 2 decades.
Our first pure electric was actually done back in 2007, which is still operating in Adelaide in Australia at the moment. So it's a well-proven product. It's just taken a long time for the market to mature and start to pick them up.
Nigel Piper of GoBus says it was his company that approached the Otago Regional Council with the suggestion that this electric bus be given a month-long trial on Dunedin routes.
The trial it really is just a trial. So this bus is on loan. It will go back to where it should be, but hopefully it gives the council and the commuters a flavour of what's available out there. You know, they'll experience the smoothness of the bus. It takes the hills really easily. It's very quiet. It's very comfortable, and it's the way of the future. So it gives them an early taste for it, and hopefully the council and others decide in the future they'll adopt it.
The bus's first day carrying passengers was on the flat St Clair to Normanby route, but it has proved just as effective with trials on Dunedin's steeper streets, and the manufacturers are hopeful their buses will be added to the Dunedin fleet.
Dunedin's got another tender coming out soon, so we were definitely keen and passionate about being able to develop local product and deliver it down here and support it.
Auckland City already has 9 buses, and Christchurch's fleet is set to grow to 25 in the near future. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, the University of Otago looks to make more cost-cutting measures at the expense of staff, and a couple of Canterbury towns are interested in supermarkets and state highways. See why after the break. Ka kite a konei.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Prices are down for the count this weekend at John's Furniture Warehouse, and pay it off over 18 months interest-free.
And my mate John.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
No mai no, welcome back. As part of a cost-cutting measure, the University of Otago is calling for voluntary redundancies from staff. However, it is not ruling out forced redundancies if it does not find the necessary salary savings to halt a plummeting bottom line. Following a drop in international enrolments, rising salary costs and a significant capital expenditure program, the university told staff yesterday it's seeking to make savings in staff salaries. The university says it has been able to respond to the immediate financial effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and is not facing any immediate financial crisis, but the financial outlook beyond this year is challenging. The university says the international student cohort is unlikely to return until the year after next, and it could take up to 10 years for student numbers to recover. The towns of Woodend and Pegasus are finally being catered to by the first supermarket to be opened in their growing community. But as the community grows, issues with State Highway 1, which extends right through the middle of Woodend, also need to be addressed.
Who ever thought you could get excited about a supermarket opening? But I wasn't the only one.
Woodend Sefton Community Board Chairperson Shona Powell is pleased with the opening of the first supermarket to cater to the growing population of the Woodend urban area, which includes the growing communities of Pegasus and Ravenswood. But Woodend, which straddles State Highway 1 just north of Christchurch, has many locals struggling with all the cars and trucks that pass through their community.
As you can see in the background, the traffic through Woodend is constant. We've got people that actually do feel trapped in their homes. They look at their clock and think, oh no, I can't go out. I've left it too late. Sunday afternoon, the traffic is bumper to bumper, heading south through Woodend.
Powell says that more needs to be done in response to the busy highway that bisects Woodend.
We need something that creates some breaks in the traffic, and we've been consulting with NZTA about that, but just not making much headway at the moment.
The only roundabout on this stretch of State Highway 1 is just north of Woodend, at the entrance of the newly developed township of Pegasus. But with traffic speed limited to 70 kilometres per hour, many see the roundabout as an unsafe place for pedestrians to cross the road.
The community board would actually like an underpass put there for pedestrians and cyclists. With the opening of the supermarket, the future development in Ravenswood, it's needed now.
With the local population expected to double over the next few decades to more than 15,000, there's a long-standing proposal to eventually build a bypass to divert State Highway 1 traffic away from the town centre. In Woodend, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, a dormant Dunedin hotel reawakens, and we take a look at your later week's weather. Hea koko ake nei.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Down for the count this weekend at John's Furniture Warehouse. Save 20% on TV units and buffets. And a whopping 30% off Comet and Alto mattresses, all sizes. Plus tons more in store. And pay it off over 18 months interest free. only at John's Furniture Warehouse, Stafford Street, and online at mymatejohn.co.nz.
Furniture from Stafford Street and my mate John.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
Hoki mai noa. The mothballed Scenic Hotel Dunedin City on Princes Street will reopen next week, the company has confirmed. The hotel went into hibernation in early last year because of COVID-19's effect on international tourism. In August this year, the hotel announced it was taking bookings for the rugby match between New Zealand and South Africa, which was to be played in Dunedin last weekend. However, the game was transferred to Australia and the hotel remained shut. The Scenic Hotel Group says the hotel will now reopen next week with a very soft opening. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Passions are still running high following a 9-5 vote in favour of radical changes to Dunedin's George Street. Go bus drivers have received their long-awaited lift to the living wage, complete with back pay. And Dunedin's first electric-powered bus is being trialled around local streets to see how it handles the city's hills. Time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. We welcome editor Barry Stewart. Kia ora, Barry.
Hello, Simon. Further debate on One Way South. DCC decision yesterday. So we've gone out to retailers today to get their reaction. We've also gone to shoppers to see the word in the street. But more importantly, we have a poll in the paper tomorrow to allow you to have your say. So vote on that, and let's get some numbers around it and see what the general feel is.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it will be. So look forward to that. Another council related story, Marion Hobbs is not resigning from the Otago Regional Council despite having promised to do so if no commissioners, if a commissioner wasn't appointed to oversee that. So she is now not resigning for now. Councillor Michael Laws has jumped in, of course, and has said that she needs to go or she needs to apologise to us. So further debate and angst there. DCC resolution to support the Sports Hall of Fame staying in Dunedin without giving any funding has been passed, and however that will have little effect on helping the hall stay in Dunedin, according to Stuart McLaughlin. So again, it's that story that doesn't seem to have a full stop. In sport, we catch up with the Otago cricketer Hamish Rutherford, who has just returned to New Zealand on Monday after having spent his time with Glamorgan in English county cricket. He helped them win their first trophy in 17 years, so he had a pretty good season. He's currently in quarantine, of course, and but looking forward to an Otago summer.
I'm sure.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's great, Barry. Thank you. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with today's Southern View, a mother duck getting her ducklings in a row. Looking at the situation, cold southwesterly airflow for a couple of days, but mostly fine weather. Fine over the weekend too, and becoming milder as winds tend to the north. That is fine everywhere except some places in the north of the island and the northwest. While it's 12 in both centres, Westport has showers and Greymarth escapes with just a few clouds. Right up top, a similar situation. Blenheim with showers on 12 degrees, Nelson with partial cloud on 14. But it's raining right across Canterbury and 12 degrees everywhere too. Showers may be somewhat lighter in Christchurch and Ashburton. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore can all look forward to mostly fine weather with fresh southwesterlies and a high of 13 degrees. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes, Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra can all expect moderate southwesterlies with skies clearing and a high of 13 degrees. Similar in Tiana with lighter winds and a high of 13 as well. Looking at the northern towns along the coast, Timaru and Oamaru are in for moderate southwesterlies with some cloud and a high of 14 degrees. Further inland, Twizel and Omarama can expect moderate southwesterlies and 14 degrees as skies clear. In Dunedin, weather should clear overnight with an overnight low of 7 degrees. Tomorrow and Friday will be mostly fine with sunny periods and some cloud and fresh gusty west to southwest winds. Tomorrow sees a high of 14 and an overnight low of 6. While it's similar on Friday, a high of 14 and a low of 5 degrees. And to Invercargill, you can expect showers tonight with fresh southwesterlies and an overnight low of 6. Showers will start clearing tomorrow morning with fresh, cold southwesterlies decreasing during the day, the sun making an appearance later on, a high of 13 and a low of 5. And it'll be fine on Friday with sunny periods and some cloud with breezy cold southwesterlies decreasing, a high of 13 and a low of 4 degrees. And that's the news this Wednesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and you can follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe to be notified of that southern news as it happens. Nō reira kia pai te pō, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.